I'm part of Period Think Tank. It's a feminist association from Italy that works to promote gender equity through a feminist approach to data, which means look at the data process starting from data sets going up to the use of data sets in artificial intelligence. For us it's very important because there are a lot of biases and discrimination in the society at large that of course AI system cannot but replicate and extend and enlarge. So if you're not effective in making people understand how these biases came into process in the data, in their use for algorithm systems, we will have a much bigger discrimination than we can see now. And even if in European countries it's not so much widespread, like in the United States, for example, there can be private companies that can use algorithm system for hiring process or credit risk assessment, assurance risk assessment, and we don't know actually that we are discriminated, maybe for our gender, for our sexual orientation, for our maybe ethnicity. We just don't know because there is no public debate, and that's what we want to do. We want to have a debate, make people more aware of that, and we want institutions to take care of our rights and make sure that this technology does not widen the gaps but actually help to close them up, so it's able to empower people to be more aware, having more choices and not actually be more discriminated. Yes, one of them is being part of a European project called Equitas. It's a EU-funded project within the Horizon Call. It's very important because it gathers a network of different subjects like us, civil society, academics, private companies. So it's important to have a heterogeneous network so we can exchange different points of view and understanding in the whole process of AI, how we can detect, mitigate, repair biases. And now also one of our aim is to how you build new AI systems that are anticipatory fair by design since the beginning. So that's what we're trying to do. It's very stimulating, very interesting because it brings together people with expertise in AI, like AI developers, with people like us that are advocates for a fairer society. So it's very interesting to combine different points of view because most of the time people that develop AI are just among themselves and are very homogeneous, mostly men, middle-aged or young men from white perspective or from the same background. So it's important to mix it up and having different perspectives. So that's one example at the European level with other partners. And another one is at the local level. We work in our municipality in Bologna, where is the headquarters of our association, and we work with the institution, with the municipality, to work on how having gender disaggregated data sets for public policies. And then we want also to apply this methodology and experimentation on data set also regarding, for instance, smart cities, digital twin of the city, and understanding that they need to take care of the gender perspective and avoid gender, not only gender, and then bias discrimination in AI and digital environments, also in their smart city and digital side of activities. So we're trying to experiment this and make into practice how to interact also with institutions that will need to take some decision. And then we also work in network with other Italian organizations to make sure that when the regulatory process of AI Act will be as fair as possible. And when we will have the Italian translation with the Italian sandbox, we want to make sure that our rights, the fundamental rights, will be actually protected. So we work all together. And one last example I want to make: we also support national and international campaigns. One is like Reclaim Your Face against the biometric recognition with facial recognition. Another one is especially for LGBT people. That's a campaign made by All Out that's asking to ban automated gender and sexual orientation. So these are just examples of what you can do starting from your city and then work together with other organizations to scale it up at national and European level, because it's a broader issue and we need to be as many actors as possible to make it hear the voice of the civil society and ask to be at the table and ask for open governance regarding AI, more transparent, so people are more aware and can be part of the decision process. Because if this technology has to be for social purposes as well, and not just for making profits, all of us have to be part of it because it regards our lives. So we cannot just have companies extracting our data and just making profits of personal data of people that are not even aware of it. I think we are very far. Actually, my establishment is that, and I think we need to bring more, as we said, there are not so many civil society organizations working on these issues. It's very difficult for the civil society to talk to the institutions that are establishing regulation. It's difficult to exchange with companies, so we should have more interacting, heterogeneous interacting with multi-stakeholder meetings in order to understand what's a better way forward. But I think still a lot of work has to be done in this regard because tech companies are working on their own, institutions are try to talk with are influenced and lobbied by tech companies. It's difficult for civil society to talk with them, so it would be important to create a multi-stakeholder negotiation and encounters to really see all the different aspects. And maybe there are even aspects that we don't know, or we are not aware of it now. We will see with scaling of AI. There are maybe a lot of things that yet we don't envision. We will have to think about later in the process, but we need to have a more, let's say, fair and open process with multi-stakeholders, I guess, and still it's very difficult to build it up yet. So I hope that's the way forward. There will be more opportunities because this exchange of different point of views, it's always valuable. It always brings new things that everybody on its own will never think about. So this is true for every topic, and it will be true also for AI. We want to have more practices, like examples of practice. So in a way, best practice to say if, let's say, institutions are able to use data in a better way, also not only for, also on the digital side, not only for public policy, so to show that using different methodology, disaggregated data by gender and all other aspects with an intersectional approach can bring better policies. So many more examples of best practices, and so it would be something. And then to have a more organized network with civil society to face the challenges that we will have with the implementation of AI Act. So to be together in order to avoid discrimination, like cases of discrimination, understand what they are, and so be able again to look at practical examples that can make people more aware and prevent other discrimination from happening. That's what we really care about, because we really want to, block any other discrimination for increasing from the ones that we already have in our society. That's what we care most about.